Yeah, Joel, just the obvious question about you guys losing your good buddy and also your acting partner in Jack for the rest of the season, and just how tough it is to see all that.
Yeah, it is tough. I know he battled back from his elbow to try and get out there for the team and compete for the team. And he's a selfless guy. And he went out there and, it's an unfortunate injury. It's a serious injury. It's unfortunate. I know he has the right makeup to come back from this, but it's one of those things where you never want to see a guy seriously hurt. We know we play a dangerous game. But that was a tough one. And he's in our thoughts right now, and we're, hoping surgery goes well and he can come back from that.
Thank you.
Thank you, McKay. We'll go to Nate Ulrich.
Hey, Joel. It's no secret what your identity is on offense. We've talked about it so many times. So with the running game last night, can you pinpoint exactly what went wrong for you guys? You weren't using bread and butter.
Yeah, it was, tough sledding. They were, first off, we didn't execute well enough. There were yards to be had that we did not get, but it was a tough. They were loading the box and their backers were firing very quickly. A few times, so it was definitely tough sledding. But there's things we can do better. There's different things we can check to and get out of certain runs if they're overloading a side or something like that. So there's all things, but I think at the end of the day, it comes down to you got to win your one-on-one matchup more times than you don't. And, sometimes there's an extra hat in the box or, you got to push it a little farther than you want to, different angles. But at the end of the day, we have to find a way to execute better. And that goes on the player's shoulders.
Thank you, Nate. Tom Withers, go ahead.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Joel. It seems like we've been kind of repetitive with a lot of these questions over the last couple of weeks. Are you kind of surprised, Joel, that you guys are not being able to kind of snap out of this funk offensively?
Yeah, it's not surprising. It's just frustrating. I think we're just frustrated, and we understand that there's points to be scored. The defense played lights out last night. 4 turnovers and containing that offense was pretty impressive. What they did, and we just didn't convert points off turnovers. It was it was frustrating. It's been a few weeks, like you said. We haven't had our success that we wanted to do. We're going to take this bye week. We're going to look at it. We're going to self-scout and really try to fully understand. I think at the end of the day, winning one-on-ones, and that's in the blocking game, that's in the passing game, that's all things. If you do your 1-11th on each play, sometimes there's unblocked guys, sometimes there's things that are out of our control, but at the end of the day, if you execute a little bit better, there's things to be done. And for our offense, we behind the sticks with penalties or a loss of yardage on first down, puts you in 2nd and 12, and that's not really where we're the most efficient. So those have been some of the issues as well, but it really comes down to executing and figuring out, do we have tells or what, and can we exploit those in, the last few games of the season.
Thanks.
Thank you, Tom. Matt Fontana, you're up.
Yeah, Joel, Coach Stefanski said about the blitzes that he could do a better job getting a play call that would kind of help. But did you feel like some of the late blitzes and the pressure, and I know you kind of saw Patrick Queen pretty much time up that one stop right away. Was that really a big issue yesterday with some of the blitzing was from Baltimore?
Yeah, that first one, he had us timed up pretty well. It was tough to do much about that, But they were bringing the house a few times, but that's their identity. They run zero blitzes. They try and cover in the back end, man to man, and they outguessed us a couple times. A few times we had max protection on and they dropped 8, and a couple times we had empty protection and they brought 0. And that's a chess match, and sometimes you win those, sometimes you lose those, but it was definitely an issue. And there's things, at the end of the day, it's like, you want to pick those up. You want to be perfect. You want to know, oh, they're running 0. We can run this protection, or they're dropping 8. We can run this protection. It's not that easy all the time, but, hopefully we figure out some tells and we can figure out, hey, which way they're coming or if they're bringing 0 or dropping 8, but that's their identity. And I think early downs, they were doing it to try and stop the run. And then, third downs, they have their blitz package.
And Joe, you guys' mantra has always been 1-0 each weekend and really kind of, you're in the playoffs. Is it tough to keep that kind of going with everything that's gone on in the last couple of weeks? It seems like it has been derailed a little bit.
You know, I don't think so. I mean, I think we have a prideful group, and I think we have guys that want to compete and guys that play hard. Like it's not a lack of effort, you know, out there. And it's a National Football League. You never know what's going to happen. We gotta come out and get better this bye week, and then get ready for Baltimore again. Watch some games this weekend and see what we can do. But you're not in the right profession if it gets hard like that, because it's NFL. Everything's hard, and I think we're focused. And I think we had good meetings today, and we're going to be refocused after this bye week.
Thanks, Joel.
Thank you, Matt. Daryl Ryder has our next question.
Yeah, Joe, I want the run game. You guys get so much energy from both Kareem and Nick. When it's not getting going early, like last night, where you guys are struggling to get a couple of yards here and there on the ground, does that almost deflate you guys? I know you're pros and you're out there battling, but when you're not getting those runs that you're accustomed to getting, what does that kind of suck the life out of you a little bit?
Yeah, I wouldn't say suck the life out of you, but it's frustrating. Again, we want to, you know, we want to establish the run, and we can work our way off of that. And even if we're getting 2 or 3 yards a pop, we know, hopefully, you know, you're on the ball 20, 25 times later in the game. If the game script goes that way, you're going to wear them out. And I think you see that with like Nick's fourth quarter stats, running the ball and stuff. You know, you have a chance to wear them down, but we just weren't even doing that. You know, we had a couple lost plays. We had a couple, 1 or 2 yard gains, and that's just not enough to keep the run game going. And it's simple as that. We were behind the sticks. We had to throw the ball. And, when we were throwing the ball, there was some good stuff that happened in the passing game. And I think if you look at the Ravens, like they're the number 1 run defense in the league, and they've kind of struggled in some of the pass stuff. So there's things that we can do. Like, we're not just like, oh, we have to run we're not, Air Force Academy where we got to run the ball, 60 times a game. Even a lineman like that. But it's one of those things. It's a cat and mouse game. And obviously we want to see huge runs, and we want to see, 5 yard runs, 6 yard runs, and those breaking out. But it's one of those things you want to find a run that's going to hit and try and figure out a way to keep running the ball. So you're not pass blocking every single play.
And you mentioned the frustration with not being able to get this offense playing at the level that you guys expect it to. The bye's a little later in the season, but considering where you guys are at right now, is it almost a good thing that you have a week off, maybe just to kind of take a step back and take a deep breath before you play these final 5 games?
Yeah, it is a little late in the year. I know we're trending to get healthy. Obviously, we had a couple injuries, last night, but I think guys are going to take the time and really refocus and get healthy. If you need to get healthy, get your body right, because we got a little over a month stretch that we have to play our best football this season, and it's NFL. So you see teams lay an egg one week and come back and play great the next week. Hopefully we really can find a way to take care of business this last quarter of the season.
Appreciate you, Joel.
Thank you, Daryl. Scott Patrick, you're up.
Hey, Joel, where's your optimism level, confidence level? Coming off this rough stretch with 5 games left, it all feel like you might have to win all 5 of them if you want to get back to the playoffs.
We try and not take a huge big picture look at things. We know we have the Ravens in our next game, but I'm as level headed as ever. You know what I mean? I'm optimistic it's not the right word. I know we have the guys in this building to go out and win every game we play in. And if that's optimistic, then I'm optimistic. But I do know we have the guys and the coaches and the people to do it. We have to go out and do it. We haven't shown it this year consistently enough. So that's on us. But I do know we have the right guys in this building.
Thanks, Joel.
Appreciate it, Scott. Tony Grossi, you're up.
Hey, Joel, this was the 4th game now that the offense had multiple chances in the 4th quarter to at least go ahead or win the game. It's been a while since you guys were able to do that as an offense. I wonder what the confidence level is in the quarterback being able to do that at this point.
Yeah, we're confident in him. I know it's a quarterback-driven league, but not everything's on that guy. It's tough when he's running for his life on a play, or other people aren't open on the play. And obviously, he's the face of the team, so there's a lot of responsibility that goes into that position. But we're confident, and we understand there's 11 guys on the field, and there's coaches and people put in us position. But we have not wavered on Baker Mayfield.
And another question is, after the game, Marlon Humphrey said, hey, we wanted basically to shut down the running game and force Mayfield to beat us. Patriots said the same thing after their game. What needs to happen? Does the run game need to execute better, or does the pass game need to execute better?
I think both. If we can keep running the ball, that'd be great. But in times when we have to pass the ball, there was some big, I think we had a bunch of 10+ yard pass gains, and I think there was more to be had out there. I think it's just both, though. We have to execute a little bit better in both phases of the game. If teams are going to put 8 or 9 guys in the box, then we're going to have to pass the ball, and we understand that, and that's going to come down to executing a little bit better in that phase as well.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Tony. We'll take 2 more, Nate Ulrich and Mary Kay Cabot. Nate?
Hey, Joel, I was just wondering, with Jack out, how comfortable are you guys at this point with Blake Hance? I mean, I know, even Bill Callahan told us it's not ideal for him to be playing that spot. He's really should be a guard for you guys, but he has had a lot of reps there. So what's your opinion of him?
Yeah, no, he's experienced now at playing tackle, for our team. And I'll tell you one thing about Blake is he's going to compete, he's going to fight, and he's going to do everything he can to give us the best opportunity out there. And he has experience now. We know we have James and Michael Dunn and guys that could potentially play that position as well. But Blake has the most experience. He's going to fight, and he's going to try and find a way to be the best he can be out there. And that's really all we can ask of him. He comes to work every day, and he puts his head down and he grinds and he works, and that's something we love about him.
Thank you, Nate. Final question for Joel, Mary Kay Cabot.
Yeah, Joel, when a defense is out there holding a team down and grabbing 4 interceptions like it did, sometimes there can be a tendency to think, hey, why isn't the offense over there doing their part? So what is your sense on how you guys are sticking together as a team? And is it something that has been verbalized or needs to be verbalized?
I don't think it needs to be verbalized. It's NFL, and we've had weeks where, not recently, but we've scored 45 points or 40 points and, haven't come out on top. It's NFL. There's things that happen. The defense has played well recently, and we want them to keep playing well, that this their potential. And we understand that. We understand we have to pick up our slack. There's accountability and there's a pride factor. And I think you walk into a game last night and you realize, hey, they got us 4 turnovers and we didn't do much with it. And we turned the ball over a couple of times too. We're accountable to ourselves. The good players in this league, the good teams in this league look in the mirror first and foremost, and no one's pointing fingers at what else. If anything, we're telling the defense, keep it going. We're verbalizing that to them because they're playing really well right now.